guys, as you see, the Buell is back in here in the shop, and we got a list of things that we're going to do. So what you can't see behind you, I have a set of forks blown apart for another bike. I'm going to go ahead and do the fork seals for the Buell here. I already have the parts, and I was just kind of waiting for the right moment. So we're going to go ahead and pull the forks apart, do the bushings, do the seals, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll get to the store, get the correct fluid for both sets of forks, get them both together. But also, I'm going to go ahead and pull the rear shock off. I spoke with Race Tech, and the plan as of now is to go ahead and just get it rebuilt. Because what's the point of doing anything to this bike if the rear shock is just going to be bad? So that's step one. Just got to suck it up, spend the money, rebuild, have that thing rebuilt, and go from there. So at that point, we'll have some pretty fresh suspension under this thing, and it'll be awesome. The other issue, the other thing I'm going to look at is the apparent charging system issue. So I have the service manual with me, and I'm going to go ahead and test the regulator rectifier along with the stator, just see if we can find what the issue is, and hopefully rectify it after that. I'll also look at the key. I know somebody mentioned that the key could be kind of like wiggly or loose in there, which I don't believe that's the issue. But it's always worth checking. Also going to check out the ground on the back of the starter, take those off, just clean them, put them back on. We'll just check as much as we can on this thing. Hopefully it's just something, if we have to replace the part, hopefully it's a regulator rectifier, easy access, less labor. That would be cool, but we'll see. And then the final thing, I'm going to go ahead and pull the foot pegs off of this thing, and I'm just going to work while this thing's down for the count, because that shock's going to be at Race Tech for a while, so I'll have some time. While it's down for the count, I'm going to go ahead and look for bushings and whatnot, and maybe like kind of make my own or figure out my own solution for it. So that's what we'll do. And then yeah, I don't know if I'll find one before this video goes up, but the last bonehead move I made was while on that ride, I lost the stupid screw for the seat, and it's not like a regular 1/4-20 thread or anything like that. No, that'd be way too easy. No, it's some oddball, obscure, super specific Buell thread. So everybody knows where to get one of those things. It's not like 50 bucks. Please let me know. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work on this thing.
Over 7 billion people in the world. We need to talk and converse and understand why some people think that way or why they believe that. Yeah. Right.
Alright, so general, just voltage output, didn't pass. I've checked stator resistance, and that passed, but I'm going to go ahead and check stator output now, like AC stator output. And then we'll do a couple more regulator rectifier checks, and hopefully we'll have this narrowed down. All right, forgive the sweatiness here, but got the forks blown apart, and these are some of the worst I've seen on any bike. The right fork, I think just straight ocean water came out of it. I'm not sure how ocean water in the Midwest, but I don't know, pretty gnarly stuff. The damper rod and everything has some corrosion on it. I'm going to try to clean it up the best I can. The other side, which was leaking really bad, at least the fluid came out looking good, like it had a purple tint to it, so it was relatively new. Obviously, they probably just poured some more fluid in because it kept leaking out so bad. I think the main culprit, if you can see this, that pit right there, there's that issue on this fork. There's a little bit of, I don't know, I might be able to just like clean it up, but I can feel something, I can see a residue from something on here. We'll do the best we can. And then the other side, there's a bunch of marks. I don't know if you'll be able to see these right there, and then right here. And that's from a welder, welding, like a ground clamp on a welder, sliding off. So yeah, don't really want to have these things re-chromed. So I might, this sounds like a kind of a hack fix right now, but I might try to look at some epoxy to at least kind of fill some of the low spots and smooth it the best I can, just to get me by. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning all this stuff. I got the ultrasonic cleaner heating up, and then I have my solvent tank over there. So we'll just do the best we can to get it all cleaned up, get it back together. Other than that, though, I've got the forks cleaned up. I've got the stem bearings, the steering bearings, all cleaned up. So I'm getting ready to repack those, reinstall them, and then got the foot pegs off. And I'll put up a picture now, but the this passenger side or right side is just mangled. Now, I did just find 2 pegs on eBay. They're used. So $30. I went ahead and got both. One of them had the bushings on it. You know, obviously I know those bushings are probably going to be worn, but I'd like to have those parts in my possession. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to work on just welding a stud into this thing, because it's basically my only option. And then rebuilding this kind of with weld, shaping it myself, and maybe we can get that to work. So I'll do that, combine it with looking for some other bushings, and hopefully we'll be on our way. So I think all I need on the shift side is just a little bit more of a thrust washer to take up the slack from the worn bushing, and we'll probably be good to go there. The right side is going to get more involved because all of my heights, my lengths and stuff are going to be a little messed with, so I'm not going to have like a exact tolerance here. Just got to mess with it until it's right. But continuing on. Freshly packed bearings. Freshly cleaned. I actually used the needle applicator. Squeeze the shit out of it, and you get grease down in the nether regions. Works like a charm. So, time to go back on the bike. I can definitely feel like a little bit of a spot in the race itself, which sucks. Right there. But it's better than it was, for sure. Keep playing with it. Alright, we have made progress. So I have been working on the foot pegs, and then when I can't work on the foot pegs, I'm working on the fork tubes. So let's talk about the fork tubes. Obviously, we know these things were pitted from that welding clamp right here. Well, I found a video on the internet, and they repaired them with Superglue. So I figured I'd try it out, and I think this actually is kind of promising. So I used a little diamond file on a couple little areas, and what I did is I just cleaned it really well, dabbed some super glue on there, let it dry, and then I started with 600 grit, went up to 1,000, and then 2,000 grit, all wet sanding before doing some chrome polish on them. And for real, like, it feels really good. So you can see the razor blade test here, kind of catches all over the place, and then here glides, and you really, I mean, you know they're there, but it's a lot better than it was. So I have the other leg, I just had one spot on it, and I need to fill it like a little bit more. So right now it's got that little spot drying, and then I'm going to go ahead and repolish that one and be done with that. So cross my fingers, but I'll be the guinea pig here. It's my bike, I can try this, not a customer bike, so we'll see how long it lasts. Be interesting to see the longevity of it. And then in regards to the foot peg, I have I've taken the stock bracket that was all mangled. I'll show it here in a second. And I have welded a bolt into it. I did a counter bore along the back side here, and then ground down a hex head, not a hex head, but a socket head, and then welded that into the bracket. That way it's just a stud sticking out, and then built up the outer area that kind of clocks it. Built that up with weld using the TIG, and then hand filed it back, and it actually fits really well. And I think I have the depth about perfect. This is the stock bushings in here, and that's no lubrication, it just kind of glides. So promising on that. I'm gonna go to the hardware store and see if I can find a bushing for that, but assuming that goes well, and then the forks go well, and that shock gets rebuilt, we're taking some serious steps. So pretty excited about that. All right, so I just got this thing out of the sun, and the super glue is dry. Obviously we catch on it, but I don't want to go dragging it with this just yet. I want to go ahead and just sand it. I'm going to start off with some 600 grit. Stay hydrated. And just knock down the heavy stuff. I apologize. I know the GoPro really sucks for picking up detail, but just trust me. Step it up to 1,000. I have never done this before also, so this is just kind of what I've done this time. Those are both feeling really good. Now we step it up to some 2,000. Feeling really good. Feels good. And of course, razor blade does not catch. So obviously it's not like a permanent fix, but if you're in a pinch like me, who knows, maybe it's something you can try. So feel free to ask questions on if you see this video and it's been a year or something like that, and see how it's holding up on me. So I'll just put it on there and we'll try it out. Alright, that is going to do it for this video. We're going to cut it off here and come back in another video and finish up all the suspension stuff. I'm going to show you guys some things like the foot pegs, the modifications I'm doing there. We're cleaning the brake calipers up. I'm cleaning the pistons off these things. There's a little bit of gunk buildup, had some stiction. And hopefully any day now I'll have the rear shock back. I found somebody local who's a race tech dealer, and they do a lot of sport bike suspension tuning. And they're going to be doing the rebuild on the rear shock, so that saves me a bunch of time, a bunch of money. Pretty happy about that. So anyway, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. It would mean a lot. And share the videos, like the videos, comment, whatever. Let me know what you guys think. I'd really appreciate it. And again, if you want to see stuff behind the scenes before it goes up on YouTube, follow me on social media. And yeah, just Brickhouse builds across the board. I'm easy to find. So anyway, again, I appreciate you guys watching. Hope to see you in the next one.